What's up, listeners? Just a quick heads up before we jump into the video. You can find this episode as well as some of our previous recordings on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us by searching Settle Down Podcast on both of those sites. Also, be sure to check out our social media links. We post on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram pretty regularly. You can find that by searching at Settle Down Media on all three of those platforms. So thanks for doing that. And enjoy episode 34 of the In the Endzone podcast. Peace. Hey, what's up, listeners? Welcome back to this episode. It's your boy, Mr. Unemployed here. We're here recording an episode. You know, 2 or 3 of us are unemployed, so this is going to be a banger.
Let's go. Well, actually, technically, 3 for 3.
Oh, yeah. Technically, none of us are.
None of us.
In the end zone.
This is our job. This is our job.
Only one of us. Only one of us.
This is our job.
Got fired from their job last week, and that person's name rhymes with Meaton. So I feel bad for that guy, but you know, I'm sure he's doing okay.
Thanks, Keaton. I really appreciate it. You know, it was rough last week. It was really, really rough on me.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, we're back. Huge news. As you guys can see, because I'm unemployed, I can kind of travel wherever I want. And today I'm actually at Lumen Field, where you can see all the fans behind me reacting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, how does it feel?
Well, so last time I sat right there when Jackson Smith and Jigba caught that game-winning touchdown against the Eagles. Right there. Hold on.
That was crazy, by the way.
Right.
Get it right.
Right there. Yeah. He caught it right there. And
wait. No. You were right there, right next to him. You were playing.
Oh, that's right. Well, I had a media pass. So halftime I was down that way.
Yes.
And then the rest
then you went back up to the suite and
wait, can you show that again? Your meaty hand was blocking your meaty finger. Can you do that again?
I was right there.
There we go.
And then I went up that way. I went up there.
And then went all the way to the top to the suite.
And then I hung out with like the CEO of Eddie Bauer, you know.
Yeah.
Just that is true.
Normal Keaton shit.
Anyway, as you guys can see, the fans here are reacting to the NFL schedule that just got released. So, you know, I can't really talk to any fans. I'm in this glass box right now with a sign like, don't touch, very important person recording.
Is it soundproof?
So they can't hear
because
me.
I can't hear them. Okay.
I think the red light's on too.
It's
the red light's on saying it's recording.
There's the on-air sign out there, so they know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Got it.
So anyway, they know this guy's here. Anyway, but legitimately, NFL schedule got released. Before we jump into that, Zach, how you feeling? Ant, how you feeling?
Good, man. I'm feeling good.
Zach, how's your week?
Actually, when was that? Last week?
Wasn't that last week? I thought that was
no. That was Monday.
It was this week.
Excuse me. That was Monday. I don't know. It's been a slow, fast week. It's been one of those weeks where it's been like slow to start. Last couple of days though have been fast. I did have a job interview though Monday. Sorry about that. It was set up last week, so that's why I thought it was last week. But it went well. Just waiting to hear back. Other than that, just chilling, watching Snowfall. If you guys have not watched that show yet, you should watch it. It is insane. I'm working out, doing a little bit of a cut right now for cutting season, and then other than that, nothing much, man. Just chilling.
Nice.
Ant, how was your week?
Well, right now I'm back at home right now. I surprised my mother for Mother's Day, which was pretty cool. She was super happy, super excited. And then watched the Bruins play in Game 4, I believe. Game 4, I watched it here, and that was sad, depressing.
Game five.
No.
Oh,
didn't I also watch Game? I'm trying. I
think
Game 5
happened yesterday. Or
I'm trying to think if I watched
Tuesday
Game 4 though here as well. While I was here, or I'm getting my days mixed up.
Whichever game that they won.
No, Sunday. I
think we watched
here Sunday. No, it was Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So I watched Game 4 on Sunday. That was depressing. And then Game 5 yesterday.
Oh, right. Because it was the first day that you were there.
Yep. And like Zach said, it's been a slow but fast week. So and then Game 5. Honestly, I texted Zach and I said, "Happy Elimination Day," in parentheses, this is gonna suck. We didn't. It was great.
Listen,
we played the best game they played all series.
We didn't. Game 1 was pretty good.
Pasternak listened to what you were saying.
He did. And
He had a
honestly,
hell of a
I gotta
game.
get
No points, but
I
hell
gotta
of a
give
game.
it to him though. He has no points, but no, one hell of a game, and he's really stepping up to be that captain right now since Marshy's out at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Well,
super happy about that.
When you have a player like Morgan Geeky as well, you're gonna win some games.
Right.
Geeky's been doing pretty good.
Coyle for sure too.
Coyle needs to step it up on those. Coyle needs to step it up on those face-offs. I'm sorry, he's got it.
If they had Tuukka Rask, they would go 16-0.
Okay. And Tim Thomas. Anyways,
Dude, that was crazy.
Anyways, Bruins won. That was awesome. On to Game 6 in Boston on Friday. So hopefully we can pull off the fairy tale and perhaps pull off the funniest thing ever and beat the Panthers.
Wait. Question for you: Is Marshy supposed to play Friday?
He's day to day right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, it would be so epic if he came back and then just had a hell of a season or a hell of a series just to end it out.
Be so cool.
What if he came back,
scores like fucking 4 goals in the next 2 games?
What if he came back, got lit up, and got a concussion, couldn't come back, and then they lost that game, and that's how his career goes out.
That would suck.
It would sound like a Boston thing against Florida to happen.
Yeah, it would be. But But other than that, though, good. Excited for Game 6 and then Game 7. And then tomorrow I'm meeting up with the fire marshal for Center Mountain Valley. Talk with him. So a little nervous about that, but we'll see how it goes. Keaton, how are you doing? You doing all right? How's your week?
Hell yeah, man. Well, I mean, it's good. Just got off the red-eye flight, in Seattle, but the rest of the week's been easy. I don't know. It's been weird. I don't know last time I went this long without. Well, no, that's not true. This is the second longest I've gone without working since I moved here, and it's only been a week and a half now. So I'm not loving it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Keaton, but didn't you say you were having a over the phone interview?
Yeah. So I botched that interview. Real quick,
okay.
I'll make this quick. So I did a good phone interview. Where I screwed up was that she asked me about my old place of employment that I'm no longer working at. And she asked what my schedule looks like and stuff. And I just said, I have the day off today. And I didn't proceed to tell her, hey, I don't work there anymore. I figured, I don't know, because I was embarrassed by it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not even going to tell her that I got fired. Like, maybe they don't know. Then I thought about it. And I was like, they're going to call ICCU and say, did this person work here? And if they do, ICCU's going to be like, yeah, they did. They got let go last week. And so I called her back and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel awful about this, but I was fired a few days ago. And I said, everything I said about why I want the job is correct, but I am not employed by them anymore. And so we talked about why I got fired and things of that. And
at least you were accountable about it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? At least
she was disappointed. So they sent me a message 2 days later, like, not gonna work out. And I said, okay, not gonna trip. So,
but hey, you know what? At least you went back and you were upfront and honest about it. And honestly, that shows more than trying to lie and sneak your way into getting a job. Because clearly that job wasn't the right place for it, and you were being a complete man about it. So honestly, Keaton, props to you and good job. I'm really proud of you. Seriously.
Just to put this out in the air, ICCU never knew what happened to Dick's Sporting Goods, so I could have probably gotten away scotch-free, but didn't want to play that risk again. So anyway, well,
you get away once.
Yeah,
shame on you. Fool me twice.
Exactly. Beep. Yeah. I am on food stamps right now.
Okay.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend that EBT food stamp government money, and I'm going to buy some tickets. Because the NFL just dropped the schedule, and we should honestly just react and find out what are our key games, so that I can use government money and assistance money to supplement some income, so I can buy some tickets for the season. So, Zach, you want to lead us off on this
with the schedule?
Yeah. I mean, you added all this stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, I don't know. I look at this 49ers schedule and I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up right now because I didn't have it pulled up. I'll just pull it up on my phone. But obviously, I'm a 49ers fan. Not wearing it right now, but I am. If you guys have been watching, you know this. And obviously, the regular season for the 49ers does not matter. It continues to not matter. So I look at these games. I'm like, you know what? We could probably go 13-4. I think we're 13th on the list for the hardest schedule, which I look at it. I'm like, man, if there's 13 other teams that have a harder schedule, then it might be tough. We have the Jets week 1, Vikings week 2, Rams week 3, Patriots week 4, Cardinals week 5. Yeah.
Wait, that's the Chiefs. That's the Chiefs.
That's the
I'm
incorrect
sorry.
one. Yeah.
Wow, I got sold for a dummy.
Seahawks week 6, Chiefs week 7. So that's probably like the one that's circled on the calendar for all the boys that are playing with the 49ers, is because that's the Super Bowl rematch. We'll talk about that later, but that is not prime time, which is insane to me. Even as a non-49er fan, I would think that's insane because it's the Super Bowl matchup. Week 8, we have the Cowboys. Week 9, we have a bye week. A little early. I don't necessarily like that. 49ers typically do better with a later bye week, so we'll see with that. Bucks week 10, Seahawks week 11, Packers week 12, Bills week 13, Bears week 14, Rams week 15, Miami week 16. Yep, that's the one I'm looking at. Lions week 17, and the Cardinals week 18. So, I mean, realistically, I think we'll probably start 6-0. We'll start 5-1 in my opinion. 5-1. I think we beat the Chiefs. Something about the Niners with redemption games in the regular season, I think we win. So I think we go 6-1. Cowboys will probably win 7-1 bye week. Bucks 8-1. Seahawks will lose 1, I think. Right? Do we typically? Yeah, we typically split that, right? No. We typically win. We typically win. That's what the Rams.
It's usually you guys have won the last years, and then 5 years before we won almost every. So it never really splits. Just run with that. It never splits.
8-1. I think we'll lose to the Packers. 8-2. The Bills, I think, is a fucking tough game, dude. I think we lose that too. 8-3. Bears, I think we win 9-3. Rams, we'll split 1. So I think I split 1 up there. So we'll be 9-4. Dolphins will win 10-4. Lions will be tough.
I think you guys lose to the Lions.
Yeah, I think we go 12-5. That's my guess. Yeah. That's my guess.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Not to be not to be super controversial. I think this might be a trap game. And I only say that because KJ Osborne is the greatest wide receiver not named Jake Bobo. So
no,
just gonna put that out there. Just gonna put that out there.
I think 12-5 is realistic, but
I think 12-5 is
a tough schedule.
Like that.
It's a tough schedule.
And why don't we take a look at your guys' schedule real quick?
Totally. Let's do it. I have. Yes, you can pull it up. It's on the Patriots Instagram or their Twitter.
Hurry up, dude. We're waiting.
Okay. I'm sorry. God.
Dang, why does theirs look so much cooler than ours? All that's to go 2-14 or 2-15.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much.
Hey, Seahawks in red. For those who are illiterate and cannot read, because most of you are sports fans, statistically speaking, one of you guys is illiterate. Red is the home team, so Patriots at home. Blue, some of you might be colorblind. This one is blue. Insinuates. Sorry.
Insinuates.
Wow, that's a clip. Blue. So the blue one insignates what away the away team. So what away. Anyway.
What does BYE stand for?
So it is Brigham Young Entertainment. So they'll be in Utah. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off track here. And
Jesus.
So blue is away, red is home. Go ahead and kind of drop your predictions for this schedule.
Honestly, if I'm going to be completely honest, first looking at this, I see 0-16 off the rip. But I guess diving into a little bit, we'll see. Let's take a look at this. Bengals 0-1 off the rip. Seahawks, I could see us winning that, but am I confident in it? No. 0-2. The Jets, you know what? I'll take it. Give me 1-2. Because we have a good track record against the Jets. We do. So I'm just.
Game.
It is. We have a good track record. Right. So So I'm going to go the 1 and 2 on that. Niners, Keaton did say KJ Osborne, man, 2 and 2, baby. Psych, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. All right. Dolphins, 1 and 4. We lose to the Dolphins every year. Texans.
You guys split with the Dolphins, or do you lose 0-2?
I think they tie.
We tie
Like,
it.
do you typically win one, lose one, or do you lose both games?
We typically tie.
Okay.
Typically,
Okay.
it's either a tie or we lose both. Like even when Tom was on the team, like
that's fair.
Still, but I'm gonna take the loss on that one. Texans bounce back from Miami. Give me 2 and 4 for the Texans. Then give me the Jags.
In London.
I know. I'm going on a risk on that one. Give me the Jags. You know what? 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
You're
3 and 4
the
against the Jags. I'm gonna say we're beating the Jags. I'm gonna be confident with it. The and then the Jets, 4 and 4. Titans. You know what? I take my Texans back.
Dude.
Actually.
Dude.
Yeah.
Let me take that back. Yeah. But I'm gonna replace that with the Titans.
Okay, so you're still 4 and 4.
That's fair.
You're beating the
I'm
Titans,
still 4 and
losing
4.
to the Texans. No.
Yeah. So and then the Bears, 4 and 5. Rams, 4 and 6. Dolphins. I'm gonna go 5 and 6.
5 and 6. 5.
Colts.
That's technically 6 and 6.
Colts. Once again, Zach and I talked about this on our own. We haven't seen Anthony Richardson play enough yet. We haven't
seen Drake May play at all.
Yeah,
this is true.
We have seen KJ Osborne though.
We have seen KJ Osborne though.
KJ knows.
What
7
if
and
KJ
6.
actually has 1,000 yards?
If KJ has 1,000-yard season, I would buy a KJ Osborne jersey.
Yes, please do.
All right. Against the Colts, I will go 6 and 7. Then we're gonna have a bye. We're gonna go up against the Cardinals. We're gonna get that dub, 7 and 7. Bills, 7 and 8. Chargers, 8 and 8. Bills, 8 and 9. I think we're gonna have an 8-9 record.
You are very wishful thinking.
I know.
That is
if
very.
If the Patriots are 8 and 9, the AFC is gonna be stacked.
Hey,
that is optimistic.
A man can wish.
Art.
Man can wish and dream and hope.
Why are those to be determined though?
I don't know.
I think.
It's week 17 and week 18.
Maybe the dates just hadn't been released fully.
Maybe. Huh. Realistically, looking at it, because obviously last year we were dog shit. I'm saying we will be dog shit. This is predictions, and I can only hope. I can only dream. Honestly, more than half of that is going to be wrong, and we're probably going to end up like with only 4 wins this season. Realistically,
if even.
But you know what? I'm here to hope, and that's all this is for me right now. That's all it is. I'm not expecting this to be good though.
Sure. Yeah.
Patriots 500 question mark.
Oh boy.
See the title already.
Will the Patriots repeat as?
And then we'll get one of those comments like, "That's why you have 250 followers." It's like, dude.
Yeah. I just wasted 30 seconds of my life I can't get back.
This guy does not know football at all. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know ball. It's like, all right.
Well, Seattle, I would say, dropped the hardest graphic for all 3. So I'm going to share this real quick.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
Ours was some bullshit. That's sick.
I know, dude. I know. This is what happens when you have a team that actually has like heart now. Okay.
Damn.
For the colorblind
the marketing team? The marketing team has heart now too.
Everybody, there's a culture. There is a culture dynamic here that's changed. All right, for the colorblind people, the colors here are green, lime green, and black. Green is home, and black is away. I was gonna say insigniates again, but I didn't want to catch myself off. Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting season. Right off the bat,
you can start 3-0.
No, we can't. Right off the bat, at home against Denver. That's a win. I don't know how we lose. I just don't see it.
There's no
shot. 1-0. Patriots. Yeah, we'll take the Patriots in Foxborough. Kind of decent weather. It's not going to be snowing, so I'm cool with that. 2-0.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Then we play at home against Miami. I'm going to say Miami takes this, But my only caveat is Tua Tagovailoa in not warm weather games. His his stat splits, and like win-loss record is atrocious. So if
It
it's
is
raining,
September though.
if it's raining though in Seattle,
True.
Unfavorable for him. I still think Dolphins have it just based off wide receiver talent. Then we go in Detroit. That would be a sick game to go to. We lose that.
That's Monday night. Damn, that's a prime time.
Yeah. I think we go into week 4, or we go into New York, or I guess we come back, play New York. We're 4-4 or 2-2. We beat New York. We're 3-2, and then we have a huge losing streak. Lose to the Niners, lose to the Falcons.
Oh God,
lose to the Bills,
stretch.
Lose to the Chargers. Have a bye week. Get off the bye week. Get smoked by the Niners in Santa Clara, and then we have some fair weather. We beat the Cardinals. Beat the Jets. We beat the Cardinals again, and then again, mollywopped against the Packers. I think maybe we could squeak out a win against the Vikings. I think we beat the Bears, and then we lose to the Rams again. Realistically, let me just go through this.
What does that make you?
1, 2. Here, I got this.
Does that make you 5-12 or 6-11?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7.
7-10.
7-10.
7-10.
I think it's realistic, and that's assuming we beat the Jets, which I think right here we will lose one of these 2 games, and we could possibly beat the Jets. I don't know. I'm not expecting much. I'm kind of expecting a cruddy year. The fans behind me are before game time they were talking about their expectations, and it doesn't sound like they're super excited about the year either. But every now and then there's got to be a new culture,
rebuild.
and I think that one's it's a rebuild. Exactly
Rebuild,
what
man.
I've wanted forever. So
Yep.
well, those are our 3 favorite teams. We have some huge news, and I'll kind of let Zach jump into this a little bit as we're still continuing on our schedule thing. We have our slate of international games. A pretty good slate of international games.
A very
first time
good
we're
slate.
seeing. Yeah. I imagine the Jags of Bears, Pats Jags, as in London. But we have Brazil, like we mentioned earlier in the year, and we have Germany. I believe that's the second time, because Seattle was in Germany last year.
Although that's just a poopy game. Those last 2 are just dog shit. The first 3, though, those are nice.
So,
Packers versus Eagles in Brazil. Jets versus Vikings in England. Jags versus Bears, October 13th, which will probably be in England as well. But those first 3, those are bangers. Pats versus Jags, though. Wah. Giants versus Panthers. Wah. That would be so fun to go to, though. That would be so fun, man.
It would be.
That'd be a good ass time.
Hey, Pats versus Jags, though. You got Drake May versus Mac Jones. Who will win?
Yeah, you actually do. That's crazy.
There we go.
Actually, so it is in London. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so your Sao Paulo
that first game is
Brazil
gonna
game,
be a banger, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game in a place called Corinthians Arena.
Wait.
If that doesn't
is that the first game of the season?
Yeah, September 6th. I think they kick off football.
No shit. That is so
in Brazil.
Sick. Good for you.
You got your 3 games. You got your 3 games back-to-back weeks in London with the Jets playing the Vikings. Technically, there's home and away, but it's a little bit different. You have your Jags and Bears, and then you have your Patriots, Jags. So Jags get 2 weeks.
I know, that's wild.
In England. So we'll see how that plays for them. They'll be playing at Tottenham for the first 2 weeks, and then they'll be playing in Wembley their last week. And then finally we have our Munich game, which was introduced last year.
So fun,
and we have the Giants and the Panthers. A stinker. That's a stinker.
It really is a stinker.
It really is.
That's a bad game. Though. That would be fun. Should we fly to Germany?
Dude, that'd be so
spend $5,000.
Sponsor us, NFL. NFL sponsor us.
Yo,
we're down.
We should all just wake up early and just get pissed drunk at like 2 a.m. in the morning watching this game.
No. John Schneider. Can we get tickets to? We get tickets to Germany. Oh, ask Gino. Okay. All right. I'll call him. Thanks, John. Yeah, I got to get back to filming. All right. Sorry. When the general manager speaks.
Wait. The on the air button isn't on. You got to tell him.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm getting a call.
Tell him.
Gino, what's up, man? Yeah. Well, I'm filming. It's kind of a bad time. Oh, you don't care. Okay. Yeah, Germany's going to happen.
Oh, you don't care.
If you can provide tickets, I'll write you from there. I know you don't like writing back, but I'll write you like a little note from there. Okay, cool. I got to film again. So later. All right, we're back.
Smith?
Yeah, he and I are good buds, dude. So, when Poppy calls, you know.
Oh, man.
Hey, Keaton, does he get pissed when you don't draft him in fantasy?
He doesn't know about that. So, well, he does now.
Oh, okay.
So, thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Ant.
Yeah.
What a
He's
rat.
never going to write me back. I know.
What a rat. That's awesome, though, seriously. Those games will be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Okay, well, Zach, I know you kind of wrote out a few, side notes here. We have a big rematch.
I actually wrote that one out.
We have okay, Ant, take the lead on this. Week 2, big week. Yeah.
So, talk about it. This is regarding towards the first 2 Chiefs games, actually, week 1 and week 2, both AFC Championship rematches, right? Week 1, we had the Chiefs and the Ravens. We all know how that went down. Zay Flowers, you're a bum. Week 2, we have the Chiefs and the Bengals, right? Now,
that's gonna be a fun one.
The week two Chiefs and Bengals, right? We have the top 2 potential, right? I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying potential in the case of Joe Burrow, right? Potential top 2 quarterbacks facing it off. Who takes that? Who takes that?
No.
Oh,
I think that's a wrongful statement. Bleacher Report said differently.
Okay, well, Bleacher Report sucks.
Hey. Bleacher Report said differently, man.
We had this conversation.
Over the live, we talked about this, but they said that our boy is 9th, Keaton. The one and only. The one that has beaten Patrick Mahomes. The only one in the playoffs that has beaten
Joe
him.
Shiesty? Joe Shiesty?
Yes.
Joe Shiesty.
Is 9th in the league.
Best quarterback?
9th best quarterback.
Well, I think you have to play into the fact that, like I said before we started recording, he's never completed a full season. The guy, I mean,
Joe Burrow at 9th?
I'm just saying.
The list specifically said, the title said quarterbacks going into the 2024-2025 season.
Okay.
Said nothing about getting hurt.
Okay, I know it doesn't, but you have to.
But it doesn't say anything about him getting hurt, sure. But I do see where Keaton's coming from with this, right? Joe Burrow has gotten injured in every single season he's played. But when you look at Joe Burrow and he is healthy, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. He's the second best quarterback in the NFL. He's the only one that has beaten him. He can beat Patrick Mahomes.
He's the only one that's beaten Patrick Mahomes.
That's not retired.
He's like the Mike Trout to Shohei Ohtani, right? Like we've always seen these moments where it's like, damn, this guy's really good and he's at points better than Shohei, but then you'll get like strings where he's just not healthy. And Mike Trout's the same way. Like Shohei's always been dominant since he came in. Mike Trout was on that pace, but Mike Trout can't keep up anymore because Mike Trout can't stay healthy. And Joe Burrow's the same way. I think Joe Burrow could win a Super Bowl with the Bengals. Joe Burrow cannot and has not completed a full season. And until I see that, I understand where Bleacher Report is coming from, even though it feels a little weird.
It's insane.
It feels odd and it feels wrong for sure. But
to answer your question though, Anthony, who is playing at home?
I believe the Bengals are home on that one. They're in Cincinnati.
Probably.
Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
I want to say the Bengals too.
I think the Bengals are going to start off hot, and I think they're going to do well.
And I think a lot of us are saying the Bengals, 1, because they are home, but 2, I think it's also because we're preying on Patrick Mahomes' downfall, though. We don't want to see him win. We don't want to see him get a three-peat. We don't want to see that bullshit. We don't want it to happen.
Speak for yourself.
We just don't.
Speak for yourself.
You want to see that?
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, Patrick Mahomes kept me out of eating a ghost pepper last year. So I owe him a lot.
I will say it. This is big too. Joe Burrow in the regular season is 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
He is.
True.
He's 3-1
Also, the fact that they've
in
only
career,
played
so that's good too.
twice in the regular season
That is crazy.
is alarming.
That is
so.
crazy. That has to be a
Joe
prime
Burrow's
game, right?
I'm sure. Why wouldn't it be? Joe Burrow's finally healthy. He just started voluntary OTAs, so we'll see how he does. There's I don't know. That team's just a big question mark when he's not there. So
I will say though, the surgery he got, what was that on again? His wrist?
Yeah, it was like his Achilles tendon on his wrist or something.
Yeah. His Achilles wrist. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was on his wrist, though. I heard from a doctor, specifically from a source that is like an Adam Scheffler, but didn't say who it was. I don't remember who it was exactly, if it was said. I'm pretty sure it was anonymous. But anyways, I will say, though, whoever said it said that there's like a 75% chance that he doesn't heal. Excuse me, a 25% chance that he doesn't heal completely. So a 75% chance that he heals 100%, which means if that 25% is actually true and Joe Burrow isn't able to throw like he's been able to without pain, the Bengals might not be able to do much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen what the Bengals are without him, although they beefed up their O-line. So I don't know. Who's their starting running back there now?
Cody Voisin.
Yeah. Is it Garrett Burke?
Okay.
Anyway, well, moving on into the schedules part.
Yeah.
But hang on, Zach. To answer your question, it is Zach Moss.
Oh, not horrible. I thought it was going to be worse.
500 yards a season.
Yeah, he's average.
Well, another few key matchups early. So our first Thursday night game we just talked about, Chiefs-Ravens. We have 49ers versus hopefully Aaron Rodgers, which is our first Monday night game.
That's going to be a last game. I think that's going to be a good game.
Our second Thursday night football game is Bills versus Dolphins. So
the battle of the wild card.
I know. Yep. The battle of the underperforming playoff team.
Yep.
So
neither of those teams are going to be good. Honestly, I think that division is going to be the worst in the AFC. That's my prediction.
Jets have a good opportunity to win the division here.
Dude, I think they're going to. And maybe next week we do a prediction based off these schedules. Maybe later on, but
let's wait till OTAs are done.
Yeah.
Let's get to preseason.
Yep.
See who's healthy. So
for sure.
Well, look, we have some other things to talk about, but one of our big things on the NFL scheduling is, everything is a paywall now. So last year in the playoffs, we had 2 games that were on Peacock, so you couldn't watch them unless you subscribed. And it wasn't like Peacock offered like a 1-week free trial that you could cancel. You had to pay the $9.99, and that's the only way you could watch the game. That being said, the NFL decided to one-up their ass and said, hey, we're going to keep the Peacock games. We're going to keep the Prime games, but we're also going to add a new one, which is a new feature as well. We're going to add Netflix. For those who don't know, Netflix has already been testing out like these new live features. So they did a huge tennis match that was awful. They did a bunch of these live. They did a bunch of these live. Yeah, they did a bunch of these live like stand-up comedy events. That the roast of Tom Brady was live. This is the first big one. They're gonna have their own like Prime Video live stream for the NFL, and I don't know how I feel about it. Granted, everybody has a Netflix account. I guess more people have Prime than they do Netflix, so there is still that group that might not have it. Zach, what are your thoughts on the NFL being, sellouts to large corporations?
I don't like it. I really don't like it at all. I think it's one of the stupidest things you can do. And one of the things that Sean said too is that we wanted to go away from like satellite and like just typical like TV with like
I cut the cable.
TV, Comcast, cable. Yes, cable. That's what it is. And then you do this, and we have to subscribe to 3 different things now to watch some of the main games. Mind you, I don't know if you said this, but this is a Christmas Day game. Christmas Day, we have to have a Netflix subscription. Like, what is going on? Netflix is supposed to be for Netflix and chilling. Like, are you still watching? That's the Netflix I want. Not, hey, These are primetime football games.
You're
on
going
Christmas Day.
You're going for 6 hours?
Now? Yeah, like what?
You're
Those
getting
games are crazy too, which it makes
yeah.
sense. It just seems a little greedy. It seems a little greedy, man.
We talked about this a little bit earlier. I feel I'm 50-50 on this, right? Like knowing that it's a Christmas Day game upsets me as a football fan because of the fact that last year felt like the first time. I'm a big basketball guy. Basketball is like my second favorite. I mean, it's pretty much baseball, football, basketball, right? But it's not really baseball season-esque right now. It's still early. And, Christmas Day has always been a basketball day for me. And they brought football last year, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like the football. And the issue is that when I go to my parents' place or my girlfriend's parents' place to watch, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's throw on Netflix so we can watch the football game. We're already going to be on YouTube TV, and right there is going to be 4 different NBA games. And the NFL dominated last year on Christmas Day. They had more viewers than they ever had, and the NBA had some of the lowest Christmas Day viewership since like 2010. I think they kind of screwed the pooch here. Everybody and their moms already has cable turned on. They're watching A Christmas Story. They're watching Elf, all on TV. Netflix does not have those movies. So you're asking people to, hey, go to a whole new streaming service, plug in a streaming bar on your TV, assuming you don't have smart TV, and play a whole different thing just so I can watch football. And then when there's commercials, you bounce back to another thing? No, you're stuck on Netflix. So I don't love that idea. The only thing I do like is the fact that you are going to have people that maybe use Netflix for a lot of things and they don't think about the idea of live sports, and this gets them into it. We kind of thought the same thing with Amazon Prime when they introduced Prime Video or Prime like Thursday Night Football when they took it from NBC. And you know what? It's I love it. I like how there's 3 different sides. You can watch the main feed, you can watch the commentary feed, and then you could watch like the Amazon Webs one where it shows you like all like the the routes that they're running and all the players on the field and like if there's a blitz coming. If NFL can adopt something like that, I'm down to watch it. Plus, I already have Netflix, so that's why I don't hate it. But
imagine waking up and being like, "Hey, Dad, throw on Netflix." Like what? Yeah, what, dude?
It just doesn't sound right.
You turn on Mean Girls.
Like, dude, imagine in like 15 years this actually works out, and your son, if you have a son right now, is like, "Dad, let's throw on Netflix. Continue the tradition as a fucking teenager." Like that's your tradition, throwing on Netflix for the NFL. That to me just seems weird. I don't like it.
Netflix and chilling.
Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't like it. And you guys basically covered a lot of it, but it also goes into the point where Netflix has already made the thing where if you don't have a Netflix account yourself and you are going off of someone else's profile, you can't do that anymore. They will kick you out. And they'll say, sorry, you're not near the home of this of this private user account. Where do you live? Yep. So you can't go on that account at all. So basically, if you were doing this, saving money because you have all these other subscriptions and all these other apps and everything that you're already subscribed to, like Max or Prime Video or whatever it is, right? Peacock. Like now you're like, great. Now I have to get a Netflix if I want to watch 2 games on Christmas Day, especially if say like, I don't know, the Texans are your favorite team. You're like, fuck, now I have to go get a Netflix account so I can watch my team on Christmas Day. Like just for Christmas Day. And it's so greedy. And I'm not too sure if there's like a free trial with it. I don't really know. I forget, honestly. And if there is, cool. Right. If not though, but like it's so inconvenient and it just does not make sense. And just how we have it. It's money greedy. Netflix, NFL, money greedy.
Yep. I will say, though, it doesn't really make sense for the NFL. Like, do they think the viewership is going to be up by changing to Netflix? Because to me, just based off of what you said, Anthony, there's going to be a lot of people that can't watch it. Like, you can't share your shit with other people unless you have a free subscription or a free trial. So I'm starting to think of, like, the Netflix deal must be huge, or there's something else that's going to be going on.
I will argue. So 2 years ago, Netflix had like their all-time lowest earnings report. They were losing money. They cut all their original movies. Like they were stopped doing TV shows. So what they
because
did,
they don't put anything good out.
Well, true, but the problem was.
I mean, I'm straight up with it.
Except for Christmas Day.
Everyone's starting to unsubscribe from Netflix because they're not putting anything good out. It's all shitty, crappy movies, TV shows for the most part. I'm not saying everything is bad, but for the most part, it's all the same. And
except for Christmas Day, 2025.
Well, that was the case. That was the case. Now, unlike Amazon's got so much other money in other areas that they can afford to take losses in their streaming department. You know, HBO, not really. Disney, not really. But Netflix has so much money as well. They could afford for about a year. Then they stopped being able to afford it. So what they did was first they banned the people who were like, you basically can't password share anymore, right? It's tracked directly to your Wi-Fi. Okay, that did something. And then they introduced ad plans, and they were pretty kind of like one of the first people to do it. So you pay $6.99 a month and you get the standard Netflix with ads. You don't get all like the new movies that came out, like Spider-Man. What was the new one that just came out? Like the Spider-Man Across the Multiverse. That is on like the top tier, the standard or premium. But it's locked with the standard with ads. I will say though, that being said, since they've introduced the $7 plan with the ads, which is like what I use, their subscription rates are at all-time highs. Now it is
so the football games
will
be under that plan though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be under all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
time will tell. I mean, I don't think it's for certain yet about that because this is all new. Yeah, so I think time will tell when it comes down to that. When it comes to the plans and everything, but
all the other stuff has been on the ad tier as well, so you don't have to have like the premium one to be able to watch it. Right. But still, I mean, you are having to pay, you know, for the people that have YouTube TV and you get NFL Red Zone or the NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. That's $350. YouTube TV itself per month is about $70. Then you think Netflix you're already paying for. Peacock you're paying for. I think someone broke it down and they said if you subscribe to everything to watch every single game, it's like $655, give or take. With YouTube TV costs, like that's because that's the most popular one. NFL, the Sunday Ticket thing, Netflix, Peacock, all that. Most popular ones, Amazon Prime. So it's pretty shitty.
That's some bullshit, bro. That's greedy.
So
yeah, I don't even know if we said the games. Did we say the games?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what games they are.
Go for it, Ant.
So
go for it.
So the first game will be on at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and that is Chiefs at the Steelers. And then the second game, which will be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, will be the Ravens versus the Texans. Both bangers.
Two bangers.
Absolutely.
Just sucks that it's on Netflix.
Yep, pretty much.
Bangers. Sucks that it's on Netflix, man. Pretty much. You never know. It could be something that's good. I just don't see it, honestly.
God, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are also fighting on Netflix. So, yeah.
Really?
And for those who don't know, I mean, WWE sold Netflix is making money hand over fist. They're one of the biggest earners in the entire world right now, quarter over quarter. They bought the rights to Monday Night Raw. So everything,
really, I didn't know
Monday Night
that.
Raw is on Netflix. Yeah, starting next year. And then Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's fight that's going to do absolute numbers is also on Netflix, which is fine.
For no reason.
You know, I don't have to pay $70 to watch it. I'm already paying, So I don't hate it. There's things I don't love about it. I don't hate it. Right. For boxing, at least. Yeah. That being said, it looks like it's yeah. I mean, Peacock, when they did it, they got almost 3 million extra subscribers. And they paid $110 million just to air the two playoff games they aired. So
insane,
man. $60 million to air a playoff game, or 55.
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Netflix paid
insane.
hundreds of millions. So probably 3
it
to
makes
4
sense.
to 5. Yeah.
Still ridiculous, though, man.
Anyway, well, speaking of money, let's jump into some of our biggest news that just dropped this week. Jared Goff back up the Brinks truck for my boy. he signs a fat contract. So he signs a 4-year, $212 million extension, $170 million of that guaranteed. He is now the second highest paid NFL quarterback. Actually, the second highest paid player ever annually. He's making $53 million a year, just behind Joe Burrow making 55. So pretty crazy the fact that Patrick Mahomes is now the sixth highest paid quarterback. And at one point, it was like the most insane contract ever released to sports, and now it's like an afterthought.
Yep.
So
right.
I wanted to pull
anyway,
that up.
I just want to say I think Jared Goff is one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in all of football.
I could agree with that.
He has done everything he's had to do.
Nothing but lose big games.
Keaton, pull up the
what does Brock Purdy
I
done?
sent you.
Brock Purdy. I mean, they both watched the
Dude.
Chiefs hold up the Super Bowl.
And how old is Brock Purdy?
I don't know. He's like 37.
And how old is Jared Goff?
25.
Okay, here we go. Top 5 annual contracts in the NFL. Number 1 is Joe Burrow, $55 million. 2 is Jared Goff, $53 million. 3 is Justin Herbert. Wow. At $52.5 million. Lamar is at 4 with 52. And then Jalen's at 5 with 51. So I'll let you say what you're going to say, though, Keaton. Sorry for interrupting. I just saw that and wanted to say it on the pod. But continue with what you were going to say, and then I'll give my opinion.
You're good. I think he's ultra disrespected in the idea that, granted, okay, if you're saying, hey, he lost last year and you're like disappointed in him, okay, I can understand that. The fact is that was their first time that they made a championship game in 30 years. That was the first time that they really made it that far into the playoffs in 30 years. And so you're taking a guy who's coming off, he already has that experience of a Super Bowl under his belt. Now he's got 2 NFC championships under his belt as well. And I don't know. I think he's a great culture fit. Everybody around the team loves him. They rally around him. He's not the loudest guy in the room, but he doesn't have to be. And you know what? For the time that he's been there, he's been extremely consistent, and he's been one of the most well-rounded quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not flashy by any means, but like I argue this, kind of mid-season last year, late season, brains over brawn, right? Like, he's not someone that's going to be like making these highlight tapes because he's got these sick runs. But then when you get him into the playoffs, he's consistent. Even though he lost, he was still statistically the best quarterback through the championship weekend in the playoffs last year. He's smart. He's efficient with the ball. Last year was a bad year with turnovers. I'll admit that. He still was third in the league in touchdowns, second in the league in yards, 7th in the league in QBR, 5th in completion percentage. And I actually have this graphic that Anthony sent me that kind of helps hone the idea. And he's done this consistently. It's not like this is the first year he was good. He's been good since he came. But I mean, you look at it, and Josh Allen, people think Josh Allen's the greatest. He's got the brawn. He's got the talent, the arm strength, fumbles a lot. Lamar Jackson. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is different. Patrick Mahomes had a weird year until he hit the playoffs, and then he dominated. But I mean, let's be honest. Lamar Jackson had the weakest MVP case of any quarterback I've seen in the last 10 years.
Ever.
He did not play well.
Might be the weakest MVP ever.
I agree. But then you see Jared Goff. Like, Jared Goff had crazy yards, good touchdown efficiency, bad interception. I'll give him that. He was one of the worst quarterbacks in terms of interception ratio, but he's efficient. I mean, he does everything that team needs to win, and I totally understand them giving him a fat contract. So, yeah. Zach, I'm going to let you talk. You're not happy with this. Ant, go ahead, actually. I want to hear Zach's point, too.
But Keaton spoke for it. Nothing for me to say on that, honestly. Keaton spoke basically what I was going to say. I sent him the photo. I definitely don't think he's mid. I think he is one of the elite ones right now. And I think he doesn't get respected enough for him being a quarterback and what he's already done with Detroit. Detroit's been shit. Look at him now. Not saying they're the greatest. I'm not saying anything like that. They are a solid team, and he's brought them from to their lowest, and now they're up there. And I'm excited to see what else they're going to do now, truly. But Zach, I definitely want to hear what you have to say.
All right. I got a couple of things. First question for y'all is, do you think Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback?
Yes, without a doubt. I think Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback. And I've said this for years, though. It's not like this was the year. I've said this for years.
There he goes.
Man, I just needed to check my hearing. Top 5?
Yeah, he's done this consistently.
Top 5, Keaton?
I
think there's a legit argument he's not top 12.
Okay, that's okay. You're
Mahomes,
stepping over some boundaries.
When healthy. Mahomes, Burrow. I'm just looking at a list right now. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert,
is my point. This is my point.
Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers when he's healthy. Matthew Stafford.
We're talking about this.
Dak.
This is my point. Listen.
Brock Purdy.
All the
Jalen Hurts.
No. We're talking here.
Love.
Other than those quarterbacks you just mentioned, no one has done this. No one has put up the stats he has over the last 3 seasons as consistently, other than Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow, great 2022 season, decent 21 season, hasn't played a full season in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, you just said it, the weakest MVP we've ever seen, can't perform in the playoffs. Name some other quarterbacks. Jordan Love, for some reason, after his first season in the NFL, you're going to put him over. Jared Goff last year alone was top 5 in 4 of the top 6 major categories. He was 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, ranked 5th in rating, 6th in QBR.
So was Jordan Love.
Jordan Love did not play last year. No. I'm talking about 2022. And then we're talking about 2023 as well, and he continues it. Yeah, he had an issue with the interception, had 5 more than last year, but on a plain scale of stats, his yardage went up, his touchdown stayed roughly the same, his rating was a little bit higher, his QBR was slightly lower, but it was consistent all the way through. And honestly, for a good point in time, we were sitting here debating, are they the best team in the NFL? Are they the best team in the NFC? And he's leading that team week after week after week. If you're going to sit here and put 11 other quarterbacks over Jared Goff, who's been a top 5 quarterback over the last 3 seasons.
Top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
This is egregious.
I don't think Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
Wait, are you putting Justin Herbert over Jared Goff?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh my God! No.
Easily. Okay.
No.
Okay. No.
Jalen Hurts.
Let's talk about it.
Just listen. Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, and there's one more, Matthew Stafford.
I'm not putting him above Matt Stafford right now.
Dude, Matthew Stafford, when healthy, is better than Jared Goff.
Matt Stafford last year, he was healthy all year, had a good team, less than 4,000 yards, 4 less touchdowns.
Good team.
They made the playoffs. They actually were they had after week 7, they were one of the best teams in the entire NFL. Their defensive
rating.
They
started horrible.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm just saying
when the Lions were the best passing offense in the league.
They weren't last year. What were
they last year?
I don't know off the top of my head. I will pull that. I will pull that right now. I'm just saying, if you look at the numbers and you look at the success, Jared Goff is by far a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I you know what? If you want to put him at 7, sure, put him at 7. And the fact is, sure, yeah, Joe Burrow, great, man. They've both made a Super Bowl. That's awesome. Joe Burrow has beaten Patrick Mahomes twice, whatever. Joe Burrow hasn't played a full fucking season in the NFL. Like he can't stay healthy. You're asking a guy, hey, we're going to pay you $55 million to play 7 games this year. And then
you start a franchise. Who are you taking? Burrow or Goff?
Oh, I take Jared Goff every time. I'm getting consistency
let's go down the list.
Okay.
Mahomes or Goff?
Mahomes.
Burrow or Goff?
Goff.
Allen or Goff?
Goff. Allen turns the ball over almost as many touchdowns as
Lamar
he has.
Jackson or Goff?
considering how good Jared Goff has been in the playoffs, I'm taking Jared Goff. I'm not saying.
Dude,
if you're asking me to start
Goff's the second best quarterback in the NFL.
No, you're asking me to start a franchise with a quarterback. So I'm taking one who's dependable, reliable, consistent, can win at all levels. You just gave me Josh Allen.
He's never won anything.
You're giving me Josh Allen, who's never won anything, Joe Burrow, who's never won anything. You just gave me Lamar Jackson, other than MVPs, hasn't won anything. And you know what all three of those quarterbacks can't do?
That's fair.
You know what all three of those quarterbacks can't do? Stay consistent. They either turn the ball over too much. They underperform in the playoffs. They're injured too often. You know what Jared Goff can do? Stay consistent. And he had the best statistics through the playoffs all year. And he had some of the best late season statistics all last season too as a quarterback. He was second to Patrick Mahomes for like 7 weeks last year. Well, I wouldn't say 7, but there was a point in time.
Different question.
Okay.
Different question. If you could replace Jared Goff with these quarterbacks in that system, would you? Joe Burrow or Jared Goff? In that system, healthy.
In that system, I'm still taking Jared Goff.
Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson.
Again.
Okay, stop me when I say a name. Stop me when I say a name that you're like, right? So is it just Patrick Mahomes?
For that system?
Justin Herbert.
I could make I would make the argument, but the problem is none of those quarterbacks we haven't seen any of those quarterbacks have consistent and sustained success. We only saw Jared Goff have it one season, which was this season. And you're gonna sit here and say, but he didn't win anything. Yeah. I mean, neither did Brock Purdy. Nobody won anything. Nobody's really
did
gonna
Brock
win
Purdy
anything.
Choke?
Hey.
That one got you silent. That one got you silent.
Are we talking about that game or the Super Bowl?
Remind me.
Are we talking that game or the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl. He didn't choke.
He did not play great. He did not play like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
He did not choke. I never said he was top 5. But who choked the lead in the playoffs? And remind me, what was the score? Just so I hear it. From the top 5 quarterback in the league.
Let me see.
I need to grab my bucket of popcorn. This is honestly very entertaining, fellas. I'm liking this.
So final score was, oh, wow, that's interesting. So he actually outperformed Brock in that game. Okay, but final score was 31-34. Granted, it's a team effort, right? So,
yeah. He outperformed him and then went to Cancun the next day. Got to sip on his drinks because he lost.
And then they both got to watch another team lift the Lombardi trophy. There was
a team that was there.
Yeah, but it's weird because it almost looks like Christian McCaffrey carried that team to victory with his 2 touchdowns. What's interesting is Brock Purdy had an interception that game. Jared Goff had 0. So
you know what's crazy, actually? You know what's crazy? If I'm remembering correctly, one of the quarterbacks was undefeated in the NFC, and one of them lost and choked a lead as well.
Are we talking undefeated when healthy or undefeated throughout his 2 NFC championship games? Because he did lose against the Eagles. If that's what...
No, Keaton, come on now.
Hey, let's be honest. If you want to get statistical, both of those quarterbacks you're describing have a 1-1 record in the NFC Championship. If you want to play that game, both quarterbacks have a 1-1 record in the NFC Championship.
Fine.
So
all I'm saying is Jared Goff is not a top 5 quarterback, and that's a blasphemous taste.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Well, you
Honestly,
might be out there on a hill right there.
Quarterbacks are just crazy, man.
You might be on a hill. I'm sorry.
4? Do you have Dak at 4?
I'm putting Dak at, well, considering that they did absolutely nothing this year, and Philadelphia did everything. I'm putting Dak at. I probably got Dak at 6, 7. I move him down a little bit on my list.
Your quarterback takes are insane, dude.
I'm just I like this is my point though. Like you're picking Josh Allen, who's a flashy quarterback, but Josh Allen has such an atrocious issue with turning the ball over, and he's not clutch. He isn't consistent in the fourth quarter.
Look at those offenses, though. What
do you want me to do? I mean,
compare the two. Josh Allen has to be like that just so they're competitive. Jared Goff can get plug and played by multiple quarterbacks, and they get better.
Josh Allen in 2022 almost led the league. He led the quarterbacks in most fumbles lost within 20 yards. That's my point.
He led the quarterbacks with all turnovers.
That's my point.
Do you think he'd do that with the Lions?
Yes, because he struggles. He struggles. No. I think he does that with every team. He's done it since Wyoming.
There are so many quarterbacks you can plug and play. He's like Tua. I'm sorry. He's a little bit better than Tua.
No. You could say he's like Tua if he succeeded in Los Angeles, but he sucked in Los Angeles. And he comes here to a whole new offense, a whole new system, gets a better culture.
No. That's a bad take. He went to the Super Bowl.
You're saying
he was also in the MVP race.
You're saying he went to the Super Bowl is like saying Russell Wilson in 2013 was that type of quarterback. Russell Wilson in 2013 had a kind of a brutal stretch down the end of the season. That defense carried him. There's a reason the Patriots only scored 10 points. And there's a reason Jared Goff had multiple opportunities to win that game, and through crucial interception, lost a fumble, had bad turnover on downs. I'm just saying, if you look at the numbers, you look at the consistency, you look at what you're getting out of the quarterback and the success that they had last year and late season the year before, you're getting a quarterback that's top 5 in the NFL.
Well, I'm not saying the second best quarterback in the league. And that was my next point. He should not have been paid that much.
But he's one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL.
My last point is now I'm scared. As a 49ers fan, we have way too many people to pay. And now we have to pay our quarterback $200 million. They're on the same tier. If you think he might be a little bit above him, sure, you could say that. But $200 million is $200 million.
Yeah. Are you gonna blow a rack on Brandon Ayuk just to pay Brock Purdy in 2 years? I don't know.
That's what's gonna happen. And I'm scared. I genuinely am scared.
Yeah. Well, that debate took forever. I have a huge thing with that was a great debate. I have a huge kind of it's not necessarily like a political story. Kind of is. So we'll wait till the end. No. Yeah, we'll wait to the end. I'm not gonna play sides here. I'm just gonna explain it because it's huge right now. We'll talk about these two things. Zach, I'll let you talk about the Niners signing, and then Ant, if you just want to cover the Bills signing, and then I'll cover the last topic.
Yeah, so I'll make this pretty quick. Two things with the 49ers. Obviously, we talked about their schedule earlier, but we have the Super Bowl rematch, Week 7. 49ers host them at 4:25 Eastern Time. Are you guys shocked that this isn't primetime? And who do you have winning?
I don't know. I have the Chiefs winning. I think Patrick Mahomes
Are you shocked it's not primetime?
A little bit. Patrick Mahomes has earned the ability for me to never bet against him.
No, I am shocked that it's not a primetime game. Honestly, giving you a little bit of shit before the session here, but no, honestly, yes, I am a little bit shocked that this is not primetime. And it's hard to say. Like, I know that the Niners are good, or will have beaten the Chiefs before in the regular season, but you said it yourself, Zach, like, cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes like in anything really. I want to say anything that, and honestly, like, this is it's one of those games really. I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs only because I think they're going to really show up, and I think they really want to just show like, hey, like, we could still beat the 49ers. Doesn't matter if it's with ease or if it's going to be difficult. Like, I think they're still going to want to show that, yeah, no, we're still here and we could still beat this team.
Right.
And that's why I'm going to go with the Chiefs with it. Obviously, I don't want to see the Chiefs win at all this year. That'd be great if they lost every single game, but obviously that's not going to happen. But that's my opinion with it. I think Chiefs will take it. And yes, I do think it is a little bit odd that this is not a primetime game.
Right. It's wild to me. I have the 49ers because the 49ers love to win in the regular season, especially when it's a rematch, but not when it matters. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. Another thing the 49ers did, they signed an O-lineman named Chris Hubbard. Never heard of him. It was a 1-year, $1.4 million deal. And this offseason specifically, it seems like a lot of teams went with picking up or signing veteran offensive linemen in like the offseason itself. We've seen this in the last couple of years, but specifically this last year, we saw it with the Giants too, even though we missed that a little bit in the last couple episodes. But do you think this is just something that the league is starting to do? They've seen too many busts with offensive linemen in the first round, so they're starting just to sign veterans? Or do you guys think there's a different reason for this? Because I feel like it might be nitpicking, but this offseason specifically has shown that a lot. And again, we saw it in the first round. How many offensive linemen were picked? 2? In the top 10, there was only 1.
Yeah.
Joe Alt to the Titans. So I don't know.
It was a weird year.
Yeah.
It was a weird year to take him. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like it's common for veteran guys to get signed because you can get, I think especially on the line offensively, veteran guys are there to like calm down and control the game, slow it down a little bit. You know, you might have a quarterback that's a little inexperienced. Like Brock's not inexperienced at this point now, but you know, like Jason Peters, for example. Jason Peters is the oldest offensive lineman or offensive tackle in NFL history. Mm-hmm. He is trying to get signed right now to a team. He's 42 years old going into this season. He played for Seattle last year. Insane. 8 games played. They brought him in mid-season, started 2 games. And you know what? He was when you listen to the players talk about him, he was a veteran force and he had like a positive impact on that team. Offensive linemen, for the most part, aren't super controversial. So they're guys that you can have young bucks look up to, which is I think also plays into that. So plus the offensive line is so tough. If you can make it that long, you have some experience that you can teach the other offensive linemen, which also might be a reason they bring him in.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, a little bit laggy. No, I don't have anything to add on to that one. Not on that.
No, that's fair. I mean, I think it's just a veteran thing. We've seen a lot of busts in the O-line in the first round the last couple of years specifically, and you know what you're getting with the veteran, like Keaton said. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really what it comes down to. Yeah. Another one that we saw, though, and this was the last thing, I believe. Keaton, go for it.
Yeah, so are we talking about the Marquez Valdez-Scantling to the Bills, or are we talking here? Yes, okay. So before Marquez Valdez-Scantling, coming off his Super Bowl win, signs to the Buffalo Bills, who now have 3 wide receiver 2s. So we'll see what they do,
depending on how you look at it.
Honestly, dog.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's okay though. Like Zach was saying, like Josh Allen being a top 1 quarterback of all time should be able to win a Super Bowl off this roster. That's kind of what he was insinuating.
No, I did not.
That's what he was insinuating. So, you know,
wasn't he also the one who caught the winning touchdown pass? You know,
huh?
Wasn't he? Wasn't he also the one who?
Yes,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
was it?
He didn't. It was.
He didn't.
It wasn't Rice.
No, it wasn't Rice. I thought it was him.
Was it him
who caught it?
It wasn't. It couldn't have been Juju.
It wasn't Juju.
It was Marquez.
I think it was Marquez.
He caught a game-winning pass.
Well, no, I think he caught the winning pass.
Was it? Oh my God, was it? No, it was Mecole Hardman. That's who it was.
It was Mecole Hardman. Okay.
He did have a game-winning.
I ain't tripping.
I think he caught a game-winning pass.
He did though against the Packers, right?
Ravens.
Yes.
Or he dropped the one against the Packers.
Yeah. Season before.
Tough season for him.
Well, here's the thing, you know, at least he's got that Chiefs playbook in his brain now. So maybe the Bills can pull something off with that, you know, because, you know, if you can't beat him, you got to sign him, you know. That's just where it's at now.
Won't help him. It will help him.
Yeah.
It won't. Yeah. So I don't know if you said this, Keaton, but he is signing with the Bills for a 1-year deal as of now. So
probably a veteran minimum.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So add him onto the wide receiver 3s, and Bills will still continue to get second place in their division or first place in their division and not make it to the AFC Championship.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is our last thing. This is a kind of football. I mean, it is football related, but it's a little off kilter for what we normally talk about.
This was insane.
So Chiefs kicker, 3-time Super Bowl winner Harrison Butker was in the news recently as he gave his commencement speech to his college named Benedictine College. This college is a liberal arts Catholic school. Doesn't have a huge student group, probably about 2,500, 3,000 students, right around there. Anyway, he gave about a 20-minute commencement speech, and it was extremely controversial. We're not going to take sides on what was said. There's not going to be any controversy of what we're explaining. We're simply just informing you guys of kind of what was said. You guys are free to make your own judgments off of that. I've got two different lists here, but just to cover this, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see, and we'll read together as a little family, shall we?
All right, class, gather in.
Yeah.
So,
Kahoot style or what?
Yeah.
I got Ant.
Okay. So we're gonna present our screen. Okay. All right. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so everyone can see. Okay. So he said, in a deliberate movement to embrace traditional Catholic values, Benedictine has gone from just another liberal arts school with nothing to set it apart to a thriving beacon of light and a reminder to us all that when you embrace tradition, success, worldly and spiritual, will follow. I'm certain the reporters at the AP could not have imagined that their attempts to rebuke and embarrass places and people like these here at Benedictine wouldn't be met with anger, but instead with excitement and pride. Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has the entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify Him. So just a little double entendre there. He's basically talking about the pride here being homosexuals or LGBTQ month, basically. He's basically saying he's not happy with that. You know, he said a few things. These are two of the big points, and then I'll cover some of the small ones. But again, we're not making I'm not saying this is wrong. He said, while COVID might have played a large role throughout the formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values and media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I am sure to many people it appears that you can both be Catholic and pro-choice. He is not alone. From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies into the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic. This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. Okay,
this is not what I saw.
Pretty just off kilter things. Now this isn't like out of context. This is literal full cuts of his speech. For those who might like, oh, we're taking things out of context, we are not. Then we'll go here, and this is one of the big things. Butker told the women.
Oh my God.
Butker told the women, and I'm just gonna zoom in here. Get rid of this. So Butker told the women in his class that they had been told diabolical lies about pursuing careers, and that his and his family's success is a result of his wife's focus on being a wife and mother, claiming that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother.
Dude, this was his commencement speech, by the way.
Yeah.
This is in front of the whole school.
And it wasn't
he started crying when he said that, by the way. I don't know if you've watched it. He started tearing up.
Yeah.
Insane.
And then he said, yeah, go ahead.
No, go. You keep going. I'll say what I was going to say once you're done.
Hold on. I've got he said one more thing that I wanted to,
okay. I can say this now then while you're looking for it. So there's a petition calling for, him right now. And it is nearly at 30. There's nearly 30,000 signatures to kick him off the Chiefs.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's gaining a lot of traction.
There's nearly 30,000 signatures to kick him off of the Chiefs because of this speech.
That is insanity.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad right now. So he also said this. This is another thing I wanted to highlight.
Keep it highlighted too, Keaton.
He said, to the gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is the lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone for the culture, and when that is absent, And when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos set in this absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we all see around the nation. Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the U.S., and a correlation can be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity. Fight against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things. Never settle. Shout out, settle down. And never settle for what is easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experiences as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker. Amateur, all right. And an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering career. I just want to say this. There is 1,000,000% chance I would put my mortgage that I don't even have on the idea that he is a huge Andrew Tate guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
he's got to be.
He loves him.
He's got to be.
He loves him. Amateur.
Anyway.
That was the right word.
Yeah. Like I said.
The right way to describe him. That was insane.
I'm not playing sides here.
Dude.
I see both sides of where he's coming from. It's in poor taste. It is in poor taste.
I'll say this. Two things. One, that was at a liberal arts college. Arts college. Not the greatest spot to say it.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's not the speech you kind of want to send out.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's
number two. That speech was way wilder than I thought it was. I thought it was just the woman part that he said. Everything else is like, whoa, like blaringly bad. I won't say bad because I don't want to get my side.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane.
He did spend a lot of time talking about like you should cut off the people that don't represent your values as well. Like he's like, I've seen people that have moved out of the Benedictine bubble. And they've moved in with their boyfriend or girlfriend prior to marriage. Some leave the church and abandon gods. It's heartbreaking. He's like, if you're dating someone that doesn't share your faith, how are they helping you? If your friend group is not filled with the people that all share your same ideas, how are they not sharpening you? And essentially what he's saying is like, hey, you need to cut off. My advice is cut off the people that don't benefit you in life, which is funny because it's like, I mean, I moved in with my girlfriend. My grandma Sage's grandma calls us like sinners because of that and always sends us Bible pamphlets. So I get where she, it's like that old religious talk, but
right.
I don't know. Again, no sides to this. It's just in poor taste. Like I think there's a time and a place. You could have gone onto a podcast and done this, but you're doing a commencement speech for probably 450 kids. And I mean, you got to know, especially in Kansas City, there's a huge, Kansas City's got a big pride. Like I was just there, there's a lot of pride there.
Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. There's a lot of pride there. And I think he just didn't know his audience when he said that or didn't care.
End of the day, when it comes to stuff like that, there's a time and there's a place. That right there is nor the time, nor the place. So
not one bit.
I guess for this lesson to everyone that's watching and listening right now, be careful with what you say out in public.
Yep.
And don't say stuff like that, I guess. And know your surroundings.
If you're a public figure.
Know your surroundings.
If you're a public figure and all eyes are on you, just don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
So,
bad.
Well, hey, that's our episode.
I was gonna say that wraps it up.
Thanks for listening to the good, bad, great, even the generational debate that we just had.
Yeah.
That's a bar. Drake could not do that if his life depended on it.
That was a Kendrick bar.
That was a Kendrick bar.
Have 20 people write that out.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so that's our episode. Thanks for tuning it in. Obviously, if you guys are still watching, check out our Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us on social media as well. Settle Down. I think it's Settle Down Media on all three of those. Also, while you're on the YouTube, check out the other podcasts. We've got the hockey one, especially with playoff hockey. We got our Thursday night live streams. We've got the This or That, right?
With Cody and Tyler.
Yeah, About
They
That.
just dropped a new episode as well, so go check that out.
Go check that
Brand new.
Just came out.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Good episode. So yeah, check out all the stuff we got going on, and so long. We'll see you guys next week.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Peace.